A Trip to Muir Woods, Part 1. Before the sun was up, Raoul jumped out of bed. He was so excited about today's class trip to Muir Woods, a national park near San Francisco, California. Park Ranger Anna was their host, and she told them about the park rules. "Look all around you," she said. "Be curious and ask questions. Be kind to the forest and always stay on the trail." The group started out early, while the woods were still quiet. Following Ranger Anna down the trail, Kim was in the front. Then came Jake, Keisha, and Brianna. Raoul was last, walking slowly and looking at everything along the way. The redwood trees seemed to touch the sky as rays of sunlight sparkled through their branches. "Isn't this beautiful?" Kim said. Raoul nodded. "How tall do you think the redwoods are?" Ranger Anna asked. "Taller than me," Raoul joked. A couple of his classmates laughed, and Raoul hoped that Ranger Anna would not scold him. He didn't mean to be rude. At first, Ranger Anna gave Raoul a serious look. Then she laughed and said, "Yes, they're as tall as 50 adults combined. These trees were alive when Christopher Columbus discovered America. Some are more than 2,000 years old. Muir Woods is a national park that protects these trees." Raoul was sure this was the most amazing place he had ever been to as he looked up at the redwood trees. Part 2. Farther along the trail, the hikers stopped to take a rest. Just then, a bag of nuts fell out of Raoul's backpack. As he reached down to pick up the bag, a chipmunk appeared and gathered all the nuts that had fallen. It quickly turned around to dart back up the tree. It happened so fast that Raoul didn't know what to do. "I think that little chipmunk opened my backpack. What a sly creature," said Raoul. The whole group laughed as they tried to spot the chipmunk. "See," said Ranger Anna, "that is why we do not carry food in the woods. We don't want to change anything around us. Let's keep hiking." Soon after, Raoul spied something bright and yellow and as long as his finger. He bent over it to get a closer look. Raoul called out, "A banana slug!" He continued, "Slugs need to stay cool and moist. Their slime and the morning fog help them to stay that way." "Wow," Keisha and Brianna said, watching the slug leave a trail of slime. The sight made Jake gulp. Then he reached out his hand to pick up the slug. Before he could, Ranger Anna said, "Please do not touch the slug. Banana slugs are great, but picking them up can hurt them." Part 3. On the hike, the group saw much more. Monarch butterflies, spotted owls, large pine cones, and horsetail ferns. By the end of the trip, the hikers had seen and walked so much that everyone was weary. They were ready to go back to school and talk about what they had seen. That is, everyone except Raoul, who was upset that the hike had ended. Ranger Anna told him not to be sad, that he could visit the woods any time. Soon, the hikers were back in their classroom, and on their desks were crayons, paints, and paper. They all sat down and started to draw what they had seen that day. Jake drew the banana slug, and Keisha painted a wren eating seeds near the ferns. Raoul sketched the chipmunk on his backpack. The children finished hanging their pictures just as their parents arrived to pick them up.